is, I think, the most important audience for these scrolls, because you have been through this process, you have seen people struggle with their experiences. So other people in the school will look at these and think they're beautiful works of art, but I think it's only people in this room that really know how significant and how special they are. So this is our chance to appreciate that for each other, right? I don't want to rush this for that reason. This is really the highlight of today and what we've been leading up to. My changing relationship with my mother, for example, and I use the trees to show that because, blah, 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 right? So 1, 2, 3, what's on your scroll and what experiences does it represent, right? Second question on there, Cynthia, could you read us that?
How did you include the 3 aesthetic principles: balance, negative space, and shifting perspective?
I know there's a ton in here, but if you could give us at least one strong idea for each, right? So, for example, balance, I have the 2 trees centered, both light and dark, and even the composition of the hills, you could fold it so it achieves balance in the middle of the painting, right? Tell us one strong idea for balance, 1 for negative space, 1 for shifting perspectives. And I know you have that because you've been great thinking with that all along.
The second one is representation of finding people who take my feelings well. And then the last one over here is getting like to a place where I can be okay by myself and not need anyone. So the 3 aesthetic principles are in here because, so for the first one I used balance for my painting. And so like over here there's like a dark tree and it's kind of like blooming, and then this over here is kind of dead. And then over here for the second one, it was for shifting perspective. As you can see, like the sky goes along with the mountains all in one place. And the last one was negative space. And as for the poems, each of them did have the 3 principles.
Poem is, it's called The Play, and it says, running and sliding is a habit now. Sounds are everywhere, but somewhere it's a pal. Debating and complaining, can he be out? Turns out he's complaining back to the dugout. And that represents like, however you're doing all this stuff, it's a habit, but every single time you can never like run away from everything. You always have to face something at the moment.
This document is basically an attempt to kind of get us all, there's been so much going on, there always is at this time in the year, and like extra crazy stuff with us right now. So the start of this writing coaching process was amazing, just in terms of having a staff, in terms of English teachers and everybody else being willing to give it a shot. And at least my experience, I felt like started some great conversations, and then we kind of lost the thread and we're working on other stuff, which totally makes sense. So the idea here is just to kind of organize whatever thoughts you have for yourself, and also so we have a sense of kind of what we're shooting for in terms of school-wide writing instruction for this last piece, right? It's not going to be perfect, we all know this, but just the idea that we are as a staff trying to do some things in common around writing with this last piece is a big deal, and something that most schools are unable to even attempt. So, that's the idea here, and then I think the real thought is, how does this show up for our students in these last projects, but even more so, what does this lead to? What is useful or what's not useful to us, or how do we build on this next year as a staff?